Hi, so nice to see you guys. So nice. How is everyone doing? You all good? All right. If you feel, again, to share or to ask any questions, you can unmute yourself. It's all good. So I wanted to hear some. How was your experience, actually, before we start? How was your experience for the Seder, for Passover? Did you manage to connect? You celebrated it? Okay. So, wow, we are right now in the 6th day of counting of the Omer. We're getting into the 6th day of counting of the Omer. We are right a day before the 7th day of Pesach. We're literally about to finish this whole week of Passover celebration, this window in time that's open for us. And what a journey we're going through it, especially now that we're in Corona time, right? And what does it mean? What is counting of the Omer mean? What is the 7th of Passover mean? What is the energy of this week, which is the portion of Shmini, which is the 8th day? What is the 8th day? What is referring to, and how it's really supporting us right now in our life? So it's interesting. Before giving this class or preparing for this class, I was reading different commentaries about what's happening right now, and also referring to the energy of the week with portion of Shmini. And I wanted to start by connecting to Rabbi Shimon. Before we start, I want to connect to one of the phrases in the Zohar, in this portion, which is it's 51 and 52. Okay, so I'll just read a little bit from the Aramaic to connect. We'll read from it, and then we'll open up a whole discussion of what I've just mentioned. So with the energy of Rabbi Shimon, with the energy of Rav Breinwan, which we had his date, like the celebration of his death, we get in their guidance. יין ושכר אל תשת אתה ובניך איתך. אמר רבי יהודה מגו פרשתה דא שמינן דנדב ואביהו רבי חמרה הבו מזדהר לקענה בה. What Rabbi Shimon is explaining about this section and further, I will just start and refer to the energy of the week. Amar Rabbi Yehuda, says Rabbi Yehuda, from this portion we hear that Nadav and Avihu are the two sons of Aaron. Aaron had 4 sons, and he has 2 sons that served with him in the Holy of Holies. Okay? Holy of Holies, in Hebrew, it's called Kodesh HaKodashim. There was only one time in the year that the high priest could have gone to the Holy of Holies, which was Yom Kippur, the day of judgment, as some will say. And in that day, the highest priest would have gone and asked for redemption for all humanity, for healing and redemption for all humanity. And it's interesting that in this time, you know, I'm keep saying interesting in every portion, but every portion relates to everything that we're going through right now. There's a complete sparks of healing and blessing to all humanity. And I know it's sometimes difficult for us to really see it, because we're in quarantine, we hear news, we see things happening around the world. We may know people that, God forbid, got sick from this virus, or going through different challenges like economical challenges and etc. And we don't understand how come there are like blessings and healings pouring on us from the universe. And I'll get to this, but in this portion especially, we see that it talks about this, the 8th day. The 8th day was the day that it's related to the first day of this month of Nisan, which last session we had together, we spoke about it, that this was the day that the Mishkan, the tabernacle, was created, the light of the Creator dwelled on it, right? It was the eighth day considered to be the day of the highest celebration and happiness, that it's even mentioned in history. This is how the Kabbalists relate to this 8th day, to the day that the tabernacle was actually assembled together. If you remember, I was mentioning that it took over 3 months just to gather everything. It was one day that the Israelites received the command to put all the ingredients together and create the vessel. And it's related to us. It's related to us in a way that even though we still having this reality that we experience right now, that it may be a little bit confusing and a little bit we're uncertain of what the future will bring to us and how it will be. We get in our guidance with every portion. We get in few tools and guidance, and kind of like from the Creator and from the messengers that we receive. Everything will be okay. Everything will be okay, and let's talk about it. So this verse says that Nadav and Avihu, the 2 sons of Aaron, the high priest, which those are the only 2 sons that served with him in Holy of Holies, they actually created a situation that caused them to lose their life. And I'll refer to it in a second. But it says here that they drank here some wine. And they were warned that the priest never drink wine. Because what it says about the wine, in general, there's a phrase in Hebrew, it says, V'yain yesamach levav enosh, like wine is really bringing happiness to mankind. Like, you know, when we sometimes like we want to have some drinking wine just to feel like more happy, if I may say that. So it says here, if the priest need to be happy and to be the channel and to everyone and to bring healing to everyone, so how come he shouldn't drink wine? How come it's prohibited on him to drink wine? Because there is so much happiness within the wine. How come he cannot drink the wine? And it says here, as you drink wine, at the beginning you may be happy, but at the end of it, so forward's wood, but at the end, there's sorrow come from it. So if we just take it literally, you know, some people, when they drink wine, like I like wine, but when I drink wine, it makes me tired. After 1 glass or the second glass, I completely falling asleep. So some people, I don't know how it's affecting you all, but some people that are drinking wine, so for me, it's falling asleep. For other people, you know, like different, we're going through memory trail, like we remembering things, and some things are not really bringing some happiness. So most people, it brings them at the end of the process, it's like sadness. And it says here that the priest and the high priest, we're talking about each one of you, need to be, צריך להיות תמיד בשמחה. It needs to be always in happiness. Okay? It has to be always in happiness, because, so what the priest can drink, umayim צלולים ומאירים. It's like water, because water, if they drink the water, it's so much clarity within it, and it's actually connecting to the energy of mercy. Okay? So we have the wine and we have the water. We have the mercy side and we have the judgment side. We have the pure and we have impure. So we have 2 sides. This portion of Shmini talks about 2 main stories. The first story is about Moses and Aaron coming to the Israelites after they're building the tabernacle, after this spiritual place is being built. They're raising their hand and they're blessing the Israelites. And it says about the blessing that they give, Moses give the blessings to all the humankind. that within your hand, you have the power to create everything that you want. You have the power to create. So we're already receiving here from the beginning of the portion and for this whole week, and coming out from the 7th day of Pesach, which is a process that we're going into a new reality within what's the new outcome of all our efforts. Every person in the world is being blessed. And the blessing is in a way that you're receiving 1,000 times more than what you put in, and all your effort that you put in to prepare yourself for Passover. So the portion of Shmini starts already with a blessing. While Moses and Aaron raising their hand and blessing the crowd, something happening behind them in Holy of Holies, and this is Nadav and Avihu, the two sons of Aaron. What are they doing? They are so high in their consciousness. They're really elevated human being. And they have reached some sort of a message, understanding that if we'll just do, this is the time, because it's like such an amazing time of building the tabernacle, such energy exists. It's the energy of Messiah. It's the energy of world peace exists in the world, and we want to bring it down to the world. So we will not listen to our dad that says not to use the tools right now. They have decided that this is the time that they will do some sort of action within the Holy of Holies to bring the peace and happiness into the world. What they have done, they use the power of the Ktoret. Remember the Ktoret, the section that we have been keep reading to remove the plague? So they have used the incense and some sort of this connection within Holy of Holies, because they felt this is the right time. As they were doing this, basically what they have done, they brought to themselves that, because it wasn't their time, it wasn't the right time right now to create this action to bring this new reality to the world. And they lost their life. At that time that they lost their life, Aaron as a father received that message that they were gone. And it says in the portion, it says, Vaidom Aaron. Vaidom, it's been translated into two, or silence, okay, like he has been silenced, or like Vaidom is like he stopped his reaction. And again, many commentaries about that, but if we refer to everything that we have studied so far, is understanding that when we are connecting to the light of the Creator in such level like Aaron, or when we're connected to the Creator, we understand that there's a reason for everything that is happening. So Aaron, as really elevated high priest, understood that his sons, he's still connected to their souls, because we all one. And as they left the world, when he did Vaidom, when he did silent, when he restricted, he received the message about the souls of his sons. Remember the story with David that I shared with you, with a guy that came to curse him and he restricted? Every restriction that we are doing, we're receiving the light of the Creator, message from the light of the Creator, every time we're doing the right restriction. So he received the message about his sons that their soul has been going to be reincarnated. And you know to which person they were both reincarnated? They were reincarnated into the soul of Pinchas, which later on, like let's say in a month and a half from now, we'll read the portion of Pinchas. As we know, the Kabbalists explain that the portion of Pinchas relates to healing to the whole world. And later, after Pinchas, they were reincarnated into the soul of Eliyahu Hanavi, which is the highest soul that still exists in our world, that brings healing and peace to the world. So this is the first story, and I'll relate to that, and we'll make everything tie together. The second story in this portion of Shmini talks into details about what we should eat and we shouldn't eat, what is pure and what is not pure. If I'll just relate to that, it's helping us right now, especially that we're in time of quarantine. It's helping us to understand what is pure for us and not what is not pure for us. Not as far as just eating. It's not about eating, it's what we entering into our vessel. Is even, it will sound really not maybe nice that I will say it, but you know that now we are like some sort of isolated from the public, right? We even kind of like very cautious of who will come to our house, because our house is the vessel. It's not, God forbid, to say about a person, you're pure and you're not pure. But I'm saying is about the energies. We're getting more to be more precise with what we put in our vessel and what we take out from our vessel. And especially, it's not about people, it's more about our behavior and our belief systems and the thoughts that keep bothering us in our head, and realizing even every day, day by day, you know, we've really been busy with teaching and giving the right consciousness and learning and preparing ourselves every day, every teacher in the Kabbalah Center around the world, and talking with students and be there for everyone. And I must say, when I'm sitting with myself, suddenly I'm realizing about different belief systems that I thought I worked on them. I thought I cleared them from my space. And I say, okay, like we're all going through this right now, especially this time that it's called the counting of the Omer. It's not by coincidence that this portion is parallel and correlate with the energy of counting of the Omer. Counting of the Omer basically relates to the idea that in Passover, the day after, but in Passover, we have been revealed so much light. The Creator revealed to us the energy of we call it Gmar Tikun, the energy of the final redemption, the freedom that each person need to reach to that level of freedom. Freedom of what? Freedom from having the world of Malchut controlling us. Freedom that when we drink water, we're happy. We don't need to drink wine or to take something external to make us happy, because it will bring sadness at the end of the day, right? So freedom from thoughts that limiting us, like the Israelites when they left Egypt, was the first day of Passover, the 15th of Nisan. This is the day that they left Egypt. So the day after Passover, automatically this enormous amount of light that has been revealed for the universe got concealed. We call it Ora Ganuz. The light got concealed. So from that, the following day of Passover, for 49 days, we counting till Shavuot in order to receive and to earn this light that has been revealed to us as a gift. We didn't do anything to receive it. It has been revealed to us, and now it got concealed. So for us, in order to reveal this light of freedom for our life, the freedom from any limitation, anything that blocking us from becoming the pure essence of our soul, the light that allowing us to be who we're supposed to be, has been kind of like in covers. And for 49 days, we have a mission to remove those layers, to receive, to earn this light, which will reveal itself forever for us from the holiday of Shavuot. So it's 49 days. Why am I mentioning all of this? Because there's a nice lesson that Michael Berg revealed with us a few years back. And every time I relate to this lesson, it's like I'm saying, oh my God, Michael Berg is like genius with every information that he's been revealing to us. I don't know if you paid attention to, or I'm sure you have, listened to the lessons of Michael in Passover and the last Shabbat portion. Is like, oh my God. I sent him a message that says, how are you revealing this all the time, this information? Where are you getting this? Obviously, it's connected. So one of the interesting message, because the whole process of revelation and understanding what is pure and what is unpure for us, what is true happiness for me, what is really true happiness for me, it's really about being in the moments of understanding, like of connecting to the essence of our soul. But how are we doing this? So one of the lessons, again, he shared a few years back about Aaron. You know, before he was asked by the Creator through Moses to join Moses to go to the Holy of Holies, to enter and do what he's supposed to do to really bring healing and peace to the world, and be the high priest. It says about Aaron that he always, you know, he always said to himself, me, I'm not the high priest. I'm not the channel to bring this light to the world. I don't want to get into the Holy of Holies. It's not that I don't want to get. Who am I to go there? Who am I to go there? Moses is the leader. I'm supporting Moses. I love my brother. He needs to continue be the priest. Moses is from the Levites, right? So, but he needs to be the priest and he should do this. And Moses like really pushed his brother Aaron to go into the Holy of Holies and do what he's supposed to do. He told him, everything that you have been doing throughout your life, everything that you have studied, prepared you for this moment to go to the Holy of Holies and bring happiness and health and peace to the world. Everything that you have been doing up till now, you've been doing it because it was comfortable for you. And as I was listening to Michael and remembering this lesson, whenever we reach this moment of this portion of Shmini and this time in our life, it always referred to us is like to understand, like really to reaching the purpose of our soul, what we came here to do. If we'll see in every area in our life, whatever we do, whether it's work, our generosity, the best thing, our sharing, the way we influence of others, if it's come to us in easy way, like if it's easy for me to share, if it's easy for me to volunteer, if it's like, oh, comfortable for me to come up with different ideas, how to create business or how to support this person, everything, it's kind of mentioning to us, this is how the Satan, the opponent, like diversing us from really doing what we're supposed to do. We will always say, what? But I'm a good person. I'm volunteering and I'm part of this foundation and I'm part of this organization, and every time a person call me for advice or help, yeah, I'm doing this, I'm donating, I'm doing. But we really need to ask ourselves, are we doing it because this is comfortable, really it's comfortable for us to do? What are we running away from? So this portion of Shmini that brings the grand opening of opening this big mall, let's say, of opening this tabernacle is basically the grand opening for the revelation of what is our true purpose in life. And it doesn't matter what age we are or what our experience or what we have done. Moses told Aaron, you brought peace to the world, yeah, because you the channel of the Sphira of Hod, like the from the tree of life. You relate to Hod. Yeah, this is okay, you bring peace. You help the Israelite in the desert. You supported in so many ways. But you know what? All of this was nice. It was nice. But you came here to be this one moment, to be the high priest in the Holy of Holies. So we need to ask ourselves right now, as we approaching the seventh night of Pesach, which I'll really elaborate on that, and as we getting out of our Egypt in a way to this new reality that we have been speaking about for a while, what is really our essence? Like, what is that we really need to reveal even more? What is our job or our sole purpose that we're supposed to reveal right now in this? What is our Holy of Holies? You know, each one of us have done so many things. On each one of us, we have like so many hats, like as a mother, as a sister, as a daughter, as a manager, as a teacher, as a whatever the hats we had. I'm sure each one of you accomplished so many things. But now, right now, each one of us as a priest, high priest, reaching into our Holy of Holies. Just as a question, I'm just having a question that maybe that we will carry with us within this week. Hopefully by this reading of the Torah of this Shabbat, we will have the revelation, God willing, of what is our Holy of Holies? What is our next job? What is that we even hear more to reveal? You know what I mean? It's like I spoke with my husband today. Maybe you know him, Avner Madar, is also a teacher at the center. And he has, I spoke with him and I said, you know, as we're finishing Passover and I have so many ideas how we can do more via Zoom, right? Or Facebook or Instagram or social, how we can do more. I can open a YouTube channel and I can have we have a radio show already, but we can have like an interview radio type of a thing in Hebrew and in English, and we can do so many things. But this is okay because it's still okay because it's my natural way of acting. You know what I mean? It's like I'm always finding, okay, what are the solutions to the problem? Like, this is my nature. But I told him I feel that I need to stop for a second and really to understand what is it really and in which way I'm supposed to reveal more light. This based on Michael Berg Limud. So I'm just opening that because we can drink water or we can drink wine. You know what I mean? We can drink wine, which means we can do what's our nature, what's naturally we accustomed to do, and like we move on. Or we can choose to drink the water that correspond to really how we connect to the light and getting the message, the right message from the light of the Creator. So I'm just putting it like out there, okay? Because in Passover, what happened, if it's the 15th month of Nisan, so it's related to the story of the Israelites. They live in Egypt. We spoke about this story again when we had the portion of Beshalach. A few days after, Pharaoh wakes up and he says, okay, I made a mistake. I let them go, but I'm going to catch them again. I need them. And he runs after them with his soldiers. And of course, what happened? It's happened to be the 7th day of Pesach, that the Israelites reaching the Dead Sea. Behind them, the Pharaoh and his soldiers. In front of them is the Red Sea, and they're screaming to the Creator. And of course, they're complaining, how come we got to this place? And the Creator is telling them, Ma titzak elai, I gave you all the information, I gave you all the tools, create your miracle. Create your reality. But we're receiving more information about this story when it's related to the 7th of Pesach. Because it says that the whole process from Pesach, Passover, to the 7th of Pesach, the revelation of the light goes into 4 stages. You heard about it? It goes in 4 stages. First stage, it's called Katnut Aleph, is the smallness. And then the second stage is Gadlut Aleph. The light is being revealed. It's a process. It's like we work, there's a revelation of the light in a certain degree, and then it goes again into smallness, which is Katnut, the second smallness, and then the light is being revealed in the highest capacity, which is called Gadlut Bet. Okay, like 4 stages. So between Passover to the 7th of Pesach, it goes through the 4 stages. So we went through Katnut Aleph, we had the revelation of the light in Passover, and then it shrank, it got concealed, it went back to the second smallness. What does it mean to us? From the 2nd day of Passover to the 6th day, which is today, to the 6th day of Passover, this is called Katnut Bet, the second smallness, which means it's like the light is being concealed. How it practically appears in our life, a bit more confusion, a bit more of doubts, a lot of questions coming up in our life, like, can I make it? Can I really be the priest? Can I really be the one that will bring healing to the world? Can I really can I really have this business? Can I really own this house? Wow, can I really be the CEO? Can I really be the therapist? Can I really be that? Am I part of this lineage? Who am I? Is it for real? Like, how we doubting our abilities and the power that we have within? This is the time that we are doubting ourselves. Even though we went through so much, we have so much experience, we know so much, we have accomplished a lot, we influence other people, but as we go into our next stage, as we're revealing more information about how we can reveal more light in our life and for others, how can I be more of a priest in my life? Those questions are rising. I don't know if you experience that, but I can tell you with talking with so many people around the world in this time of this quarantine time, people are checking themselves, like, what is that? What's next I can do? How can I find myself more? I must tell you, I'm studying in 2 universities online for 2 degrees now. I said, who knows? Maybe, how can I get more information that I can be of more of a service? I don't know, but I'm studying. So I'm saying to myself, like, and I'm sharing with you, is like, so this is the time of this Katnut Bet, the smallness. How it's connected to the Israelites, because Moses could have brought them the creation of the miracle, the splitting of the Red Sea already on the 6th day and the 5th day. But because he knew that the energy that exists is of the smallness, the Israelite will not have the power, not the physical power, but the mental power and the spiritual power, the strength within them to have the certainty that they can create miracle in their life. He knew that on the 7th day of Pesach, this is the Gadlut Bet, the highest revelation of the light is being revealed on the 7th day of Pesach, which the light that relates to, the Creator says, you want the freedom of Passover, you want the light of freedom of Passover, you don't understand the light that you receive on the 7th day of Pesach. It's the light that you connect to your greatness. It's the light that you connect to your blessings. All the blessings that you can really have in your life and you can connect to, and it exists. How do we know it exists? Because we have two, like we have Ein Sof, we have, as Dari and Rav Ashlag explaining, we have this parallel universe. We have the universe of the Ein Sof, Olam Ein Sof, which everything, the completion of everything, it exists in there. Everything is complete. We are reaching our purpose of our soul. We have in unconditional happiness. In a parallel universe, we're still earning it. We still live in a place where we're still earning it till we reach in the Gemara Tikkun, as we call it, as the end of our correction. But if we know that the miracles are happening, if we know that the medicine exists already before the disease is happening, how do we know that? It's mentioned in this whole story of the 7th of Pesach, of splitting of the Red Sea. It says, "Vayasam et hayam lechorva, vayivaku hamayim." First, the land dried, and then the water got split. So how can it be? If first there is a land and then the water got split, like the Red Sea got split. How can it be? It needs to be the opposite. First the Red Sea splitting, and then the earth is appearing. But it's written in the opposite way. What does it show us? That the Israelites were reaching this highest level of certainty that they already saw that the land will be dry. Okay? So it gives us the understanding now that you will already see how your essence is being revealed. You need to really see how you're going to be the influencer in your life, how you're going to have the financial abilities to do whatever you want, the love, the relationships, everything that you wish for. It's already there. This is how the portion starts with the blessings of Moses and Aaron, because it tells us the blessings are here. Everything is here. Just I'm asking from you. Reveal it. Connect to it. Most people, especially in Israel, earlier I had love learning in Hebrew, and most people in Israel relates to only the energy of the Seder, of Passover, the first night. Like this, it's called 7th of Pesach, called the second holiday in Israel. And what do you do in the second holiday? Not much. You know, most of the time, if no Corona times, the traveling, the walk around, like the traveling around. Really, people don't understand why we have 7th of Pesach. Thank God for the Rav and Karen to reveal us the information about the 7th of Pesach, because Rav Breinwein used to tell the Rav in one of the letters, actually, it's in volumes 2 of the letters of Rav Breinwein. It says, the Rav Breinwein used to tell the Rav, most of the time, wherever people do not pay attention to, this is where the highest revelation of light exists. So even like, the holiday of Purim, people like relates to it as, costume and like, that's it. If we understand what does it mean, the 7th day of Pesach, so we receive the light of freedom, the freedom from our ego, We receive the light of freedom, the freedom from Satan, from freedom from the uncertainty. This was Passover. And basically, like just if we talk about this, when we receive the freedom from ego and Satan, basically we're free. So what is bring us is bring us in allowing us to be more connected to each other. It allows us to feel that there's no really space between us, right? And there's no space between people, and we all one, connected to nature, and there's a soul consciousness in everything. So if there's a soul connection in everything, and so part of me is actually, we're part of everything. This is what we receive in Passover. And I guess this message from the time that we are living right now, in historical time that we are living right now, I think more and more people see how we all connected to one another. Soul connection. The portion of Shmini is the letters in Hebrew, Shin Mem Nun Yud. If we change the letters, it's Neshama, which is soul. Okay, so what does it mean? Every essence, everything in the creation has an internal aspect and an external aspect. Has a internal is the soul and external is the body. So there's everything in the creation has a soul consciousness and body consciousness, right? When we relate to our body consciousness, we actually connect our ego, fragmentation, separation, judgment, uncertainty, when we connect to body consciousness. Passover, through 7th of Passover, through all the 7 days, really gave us to connect to this freedom of bondage, and relates more to connect more to our soul consciousness. So when we're in the soul consciousness, it's such a beautiful time now, that because it really gives us the opportunity to see how we all connected, how we are one. Each person, we all connected to each other. We're one with the trees, we're one with the plants, we're one with the planet, we're one with each other, and it's so beautiful. And I feel that this is really time that we will all be connected as much as possible to our soul consciousness. And this is the power of 7th of Pesach, is to seal in this process, to understand that we are all one. This is why Aaron, when his sons passed away, and he did Vaidom, and he stopped, his reaction, like he didn't cry, he just restrict, and he already got it, that the souls of his son will always be connected to his soul, because we are all one, because Aaron was connected to his soul. Okay, he had freedom from the body consciousness. So this brings us to understand that why happened the splitting of the Red Sea happened. Is the splitting of the Red Sea happened because it needed to give us a test to the Israelites, the splitting of the Red Sea because we needed to speak about it 5,000 years after, or about this miracle, and just to be really excited about seeing this as an example for a huge miracle? Maybe. But the Kabbalists explaining, especially now, that the Creator shared this challenge, or brought this challenge of splitting of the Red Sea to the Israelite from 2 main reasons. One is to show them that they have the power within them to really create miracles in their life, and to connect to miracles in their life, because they exist. As medicine exists, miracle exists all the time, and we need to tap into that realm. Miracles, as we explained before, is action of illogical actions, right? Remember, illogical actions. Even when we do meditation, we can do illogical meditation. if we're happy, we can be illogical in our happiness to tap into illogical reality, which is miraculous. The other reason why the Creator sent this challenge to the Israelites is that they needed to understand and to reveal, and basically the information of the 72 name of God needed to be revealed to them. Up till that moment, the 72 name were only used by Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Moses. The Israelites never knew or didn't have the opportunity to tap to this energy of 72 name, which is the bridge between the physicality to the spiritual realm. So in order for them to reveal that energy of the 72 name, they needed to go through this challenge. And it brings us to ask about our life today and every challenge that we're going through, and especially Corona time, right? What is the purpose of this virus that is really controlling some realities here and making like a major change in people's life? I guess that after like, I guess 4 weeks that we're in this, really 4 weeks talking about it, we see that within people's life, they're getting more of awakening. Nature is being awakened. We see it through all social media. I think we are the one that going through also a major understanding about our personal life. But all of this is nice and okay. But I think for us as students of Kabbalah and having that consciousness and understanding the consciousness of certainty, we understand that within all the situation, the light of the Creator is here to give each one of us a message. And the first message that we are receiving is Vayasem et hayam lechorava veivaku hamayim. First there's a land, and then there's the splitting. So for each one of us is really to that each one of us will maintain the power of certainty and understanding that first there's a land, and then there'll be the splitting of the Red Sea. The reality, the best reality that can possibly be for each one of us and the humanity as a whole is there, it's existing. The only thing we need to do, each one of us, is splitting our Red Sea. With certainty. It's like Nachshon ben Aminadav, the kid, the 13-year-old kid that went through and like really went through and split his own Red Sea because he knew, he had the certainty. So each one of us needs to be like Nachshon ben Aminadav, to split our own Red Sea, to create our own miracle with the pure certainty that everything is okay, everything will be okay, the medicine exists, everything exists. There's a technology that is being used right now to have some sort of a cleansing, some sort of a shaking, right? And especially the cleansing, or the moment that we have now, this shaking, it just lifts us up with really joy and happiness, and to understand we don't need wine to be happy. We can drink water and we be very content. I have here a question. So how do we share this with our family and older children? It's a very good question, Myra. It's a very good question she was asking here now. I guess that as everything that we have learned and everything we do in our life, we cannot change other people, but we can only change ourselves. So we can share by our example. We can be role models to our children and our friend. Maybe we can share it as a story, and each person will, each child or family will receive their own lesson from that story. And you know, it's like it depends how open they are and how, you know, a little bit you can go in with the information that will not be kind of like forcing them into the spirituality, just to really share with them that we're in time right now, that it's about time to really more awaken. And even if we don't need to lecture them, we can ask, we can just ask. So let's say you're out right now from your house. Let's say that's it, it's gone, and everyone out from quarantine. What kind of reality do you want to go into? Just to ask that question and see how your family members will answer, if they'll. But the main thing is to lead by example. Just to lead by example. And if you have any more questions, you can unmute yourself, you can ask, or you can write, definitely. But it's interesting. Another thing that I wanted to share before I'm done, they had only that moment of splitting of the Red Sea to create the major miracle. Rav Breinwan explained to the Rav that each one of us has a moment that if we're tuned, we can create the miracle in our life. They couldn't split the Red Sea before. They couldn't split the Red Sea day after. It was that moment, which means in the reality of a bunch of miracles in our life that can happen and exist in our life, there are moments that are open for us. If we hear the message, if we just tune to the message, if we tune to the reality, if we align with the Creator, as we say, we can split our Red Sea in that moment and tap into the miraculous realm. So the Rav Breinwan says that it can only happen, the revelation of those moments can only happen if we act in what is called Mesirut Nefesh, is literally meaning giving up our soul. But what does it mean, giving up our soul? It's to give up the self, it's to give up the I, it's to give up the fear, it's to give up the attachment, which means it's a daily job, yeah, right? It's a daily spiritual work. It's giving up the fear of our future. What will be with our future? What will happen with economical? This is like the fear that's coming up a lot. The fear of if I will have money or not, right? The fear if it's what that belongs to me, if I will lose it. Because as Rav Breinwan is, I'm like reading from Rav Breinwan letter, this is why I'm looking at the notes. It's like the Rav Breinwan is saying, like, the nature, the desire of human being, their nature is to swallow. Swallow is like to take, right? This is our nature. What is it for me? How it will feel for me? Without thinking about what will happen to me, right? But it's this is our nature. We cannot change our nature. This is what it is. We can try to be more spiritual. We have moments that we don't really think about ourselves, but there will be moments that we go back. But the Rav Breinwan is saying that a person who really pushes himself spiritually to really give up and working on the fears, working on the limitation, working on the desire to receive for the self alone. This power of Mesirut Nefesh, this power bringing them the message to the person in that moment, this is the time for you to split your Red Sea. So I want to give you this, maybe a sentence or two that you can write to yourself, but you can maybe adapt to say this sentence, following Rav Brandwein, he says, I'm totally fine with what will happen or will not happen to me. I don't care. Just if we will say that, or writing down to ourselves, I'm totally fine with what will happen or will not happen to me. I don't care. This force of Mesirut Nefesh, this force of breakthrough, it will give us an access to a miracle. Okay? When we just give up in our mind, we're really giving up in our mind, because we all have fears at the moment, different fears that came up. And if we just say it, like as a meditation, I'm totally fine with what will happen or will not happen to me. I don't care. Saying this is saying that the light of the Creator is within this process. I know that the light is dwelling on me and will support me in the process. So Rav Brandwein is saying, but in the moment we give this away out, we take it away from our system. This force of Mesirut Nefesh creates a breakthrough in our life and give us access to miracles. So we know, we know that the sharing I will do now will create the splitting of the Red Sea. The action that I will do now will create the splitting of my Red Sea. You know what I mean? We can pray all the time. We can share all the time. We can do many actions of good all the time. We can restrict all the time. But there are only few actions or few meditation or few prayers that really fit in the moment, that splitting of the Red Sea. But we should continue to do it. We cannot just wait, oh, maybe now it's the moment, now I will share. What's come with that is the sentence, this mantra, this understanding that we're saying to ourselves, I'm totally fine with what will happen or will not happen to me. The light is guiding me. I don't care. Which means is like every time that a person needs a miracle in his life, or the universe needs a miracle, the universe like really bring us going through a test that is given to us, like, and we cannot really think about it. It's like we're really confused with the challenge that we're going through. But the only thought that we would like to reach is the thought that it says, I'm fine, despite of everything, I'm fine. I'm acting with no calculation. I'm follow through with no calculation. I'm meditating with no calculation. Everything is fine. You know, when we pray, we have calculations, right? How it will be, like I will pray for the healing. I'll pray, like asking for no, like meditating that our thoughts are not bothering us. Acting, working when we are not worried, how will I pay my rent next week? Be in the moment. When I'm grabbing this opportunity and letting go in my mind. So it will not happen every day. It will not happen every moment, but there will be a window of opportunity, and this will cause the splitting of your Red Sea. There are many people that were asking us in the past, so how do I know when to give up and when I calculate? Because we do calculate. Honestly, I don't know the answer for that. I guess that each person, as you do your spiritual work, you already align and you will know. But everything starts with our desire to know, and our desire to connect with Mesirut Nefesh, and our desire to connect with the Creator, and our desire to create miracles in my life. So when there is a voice that says to you in your mind, what's with you, or what will be with you, release this voice. Don't let this voice, like, if you want to go beyond, nature, it's give away completely. Give away completely. Okay? It's like each one of us, a mesirut nefesh, or giving away, it's relevant to each one of you. So sometimes excitement beyond logic is creating miracle. As one time Eitan Yordani shared, you know, as Eitan Yordani is sharing with excitement, right? So sharing with excitement, it's illogical sometimes, right? But it's create illogical reality. So for each one of you, you find what is like you're giving away is. But remember the sentence. I'm totally fine with what will or will not happen to me. I'm okay. The light is with me. And we received already with this portion of Shmini, with the energy of the 7th of Pesach, with everything that's happening with us this week, we're receiving the blessing and the freedom to act and do whatever in your power to do. Okay? So go and conquer and be the priest in your life. And I really appreciate this hour with you. It allows me to get out from my house, to come to the office, put the makeup on, and share. God bless all of us. Thank you. Bye-bye.